Hello and welcome to Berlin. This is the hotel in PotsdammerPlatz. It's like an attic room, and I don't think I can open those blinds, which is a shame because it's brewing up in here and getting incredibly hot. Those of you that are offended by signs of human habitation, look away now. I haven't made the bed. I have people that do that for me. Quite a nice plain room, my brand new flight case, with which I am well pleased. Good sized bathroom, somewhat over showered. There's one shower and a bath there, and another shower in here with a nice little ledge to sit on. Good, right, we're off for a good old walk today. We're going to visit the Deutsche Technology Museum, which is full of old aeroplanes, steam engines, the kind of thing that I like. And because it's my party, I get to go where I want. Hurrah! That'll do down there. Okay. There's a thing in that playground there. A wooden aeroplane. We've just come out of the station. This is a events venue right opposite. And that up there is what remains of a massive railway station. And we are walking up effectively where the tracks used to run into the station. I'm trying to find the name of it when we get there. But there is apparently footage of Adolf Hitler arriving at this station and being greeted by his adoring public at the time. It is inevitable when you're in Berlin that the historical context is dominated by the Second World War, with all its heroism and horrors. And today's agenda is to go to the German Technology Museum, which is full of old aeroplanes, steam engines, all sorts of stuff. The kind of thing that I like. Well, one of the many things that I like. So let us pause for a minute to consider the immensity of this construction. Its footprint must have covered this whole area. Maybe there's some info here. The Exile Museum. Oh, there we go, the Anhalter Bahnhof. in 1841 and operative till 1959. In early June 1942, the Nazis began deporting Berlin's older Jewish citizens to the ghetto camp of Transistor. The old people's transport started here at Anhalter Bahnhof and continued almost until the end of the war. Anhalter Bahnhof was a busy central passenger station. 116 deportation convoys left from here, usually with between 50 and 100 people aboard. In all, over 9,600 people were deported from the station. The deportations took place amid the normal station traffic. And for the Theresienstadt convoys, 2 special third-class coaches were usually coupled to the regular passenger train to Dresden. When it went into operation in 1841, Anhalter Bahnhof was on the city outskirts and was regarded as Berlin's gateway to the south. The starting and the end point of the Berlin to Anhalt Railway Company, which ran the first long-haul railway route via Dessau to Kürten, where passengers could connect to Leipzig and Halle. It took 6 years to construct a new station hall with prestigious reception building. Berlin architect Franz Schwechten designed the monumental building in the neo-Renaissance style using Greppiner bricks, which became typical for Berlin railway buildings in the ensuing decades. The hall structure with its iron trusses was 34 metres high and 62 metres across, making it the biggest in continental Europe at the time. The city was ultimately closed in 1959 and was demolished in 1959. Protests from Berlin citizens at least led to the preservation of the portico. Other remnants of the station building can be seen in the Deutsches Technik Museum, which is where we're going shortly. It's big, friends, it's big. Look at the detail in these little protrusions. I'm sure there's a proper architectural term for them, but I have no idea what it might be. And I'll stick with protrusion. Oh, and the crocuses are out. Hey, it's spring. Look. Excellent. Crocuses and some little mini bluebells. There it is. There's historical impressive erection. More detail. Yeah. Right. and there's a new exhibition on Ukraine. Good. Yeah, this is definitely a day's work, this one. There's bits of the Berlin Wall. You see these concrete slabs? That's what the Berlin Wall was built from. 4.3 meters high. These three original sections of the wall once stood on Bernauer Strasse. I remember being here the day after the wall was breached, and you could walk along kilometres of it that ran through the middle of Berlin and divided the city in half. I've no idea what this is. It's a bit of sculpture of some description. Just lying at the side of the bunker. Shall we go? Wissen Sie, was das ist?
Nee.
Ich auch nicht. Danke. Hallo, wissen Sie, was das war? Oh, no one knows. There's careful detailing on the sides. More bits of stone with similar detailing on them. I assume this was all part of some decorative element, but if so, it's the only thing I've seen that is decorative out of the whole shebang, and it looks too modern somehow. I don't know, I suppose it could be 30s. I don't know. Anyone that knows what this is, please add your comments in the comments. So here we are approaching the Technology Museum. I mean, just be able to see that aeroplane hanging from the girders on the top of the building. I remember coming here to Berlin before the wall came down, and it was an extremely vibey place because you knew, the people that lived here knew that on any day the Russians could suddenly decide to just roll over West Berlin, in the firm belief that the Allies would not risk starting a war over it, particularly a nuclear war. So West Berlin was party town because it could all be over tomorrow with no warning, no build-up, just an arbitrary decision by the leaders of the Soviet Union. to grab the rest of it back. It's got a different vibe now. It's now once again the capital city of the reunited Germany. The government moved back here from Bonn. And it has a very different feeling. Any road up I don't know if this is a river or a canal, or maybe a river that has been canalised. There's no real flow in it. So, here we are at the Technology Museum. This is apparently vast. They have also apparently hidden the entrance. We're going to do a bit of freestyle guerrilla road crossing. After this black van, there was a time when I would have gone before it, but not today. There we go. This is a steam engine from 1860. Comes from England, the motherland of industrialisation. And until 1914 it was in use in a corn mill in Ifield in Sussex. Developed 16 horsepower. There were many of these in Germany. All sorts of uses, from pumping and powering factories through these belts. And England led the world in this technology. Theophilus Horn, engineer, Westminster. Well done, Theophilus. Okay, let's see if we can make our way upstairs and find the hairy planes. This extraordinary loom here. Look at the computer-like punch cards which controlled the colours and all the other aspects of the loom. And here are examples of the kind of things that it would produce. The industrialisation of what had until then been a manual art, and you can only imagine the noise if you have a factory full of these all running at the same time. It must have been horrific. The ingenuity of mankind, personkind. real-time translation of this is beyond my German because of the technical terms involved. But those punch cards show a very early form of computer control, I guess. Extraordinary device. Built by Transistor and Sons. There's a thing, transistor radio spectacles from 1970. It's basically a pair of glasses with a transistor radio built in to the frame. Wow. This, astonishingly, is a radio transmitter. It's a vast construction. And it was used by radio in the American sector, which could actually reach into the GDR, the communist part of Germany. Wow. Astonishing device. And in this room we have the origins of the industry that provided me with my living for most of my life. Blattner found steel tape in the 1930s. A 1.9 kilometre tape was able to record for about 21 minutes. And the first vinyl disc early disc records made from hard rubber and only played on one side, and titles were engraved by hand. Gelatine film was also used for making private sound recordings. Phonographs, wax cylinders. A tape recorder developed for wall recording. One tape could record for 12 minutes. Wow. Telegraphone. What's this? That looks like a cutting lathe, isn't it? Record cutting machine, yeah. And the mixing desk hasn't changed that much, apart from the use of faders, sliding faders instead of the mixing desk technology hasn't changed that much, apart from the use of sliding faders rather than rotary knobs. Long playing record. So there we are, the birth of the record industry. That's a tube tester for testing valves. Early oscilloscope. That's a TV receiver, 1943. Designed for the use in bombers. A picture of the area targeted for bombing, which had been taken with the target camera, appeared on the small screen, which helped the bombardier accurately navigate the bomb to its target. That's a television transmitter. Early TV technology. And that's a fax recorder from 1925. The first fax machine. Wow. Okay. Let's go in search of hairy planes. Oh, look at all this. This is film and TV technology. The Google box, you mean the goggle box, don't you? Here's an interesting fact about TV mixing consoles. On a normal audio mixing console, the further away from you push the fader, the louder the sound becomes. On TV it's the other way round, and I'm told the theory was that it meant that if you accidentally leant on the desk and pushed the fader up, it wouldn't bring up a sound that was not supposed to be in the mix. Because if you push the fader upwards, the sound will get quieter. So maybe some TV engineers and mixers can verify the accuracy of this assertion. The first computer, the dawn of the computer age. During World War II, Konrad Zuse significantly improved the fabrication of computers, and with the Z3 brought into being the first fully functional computer. And it's probably huge. Yeah, there you go, that's a Z3. The size of it. Nicht zu fassen, ne?
Ich dachte, Z22 wäre schon transistorisiert. Das ist noch eine eindeutige Röhrenmaschine.
Und jetzt guck mal. Das hat so viel mehr Kraft.
Wem erzählen Sie das? Ich habe 1957 damit angefangen.
1957. 57. Das in diesem Jahr war ich angefangen.
Womit?
1957. Das war mein Geburtsjahr.
Ach so, nein, 1957 bin ich zur IBM gegangen.
Entschuldigung, mein Deutsch ist nicht ganz perfekt.
Was ist Ihre Muttersprache? Holländisch?
Englisch.
No, let's talk English.
Okay.
I started in IBM in 1957. Computers with valves, computer mechanics.
Wow.
And then I got the whole history of computing up to date.
Wow.
There was no profession we had. There was no profession.
No.
Even the word computer didn't exist.
What was it called then?
Electronic data processing machine.
Electronic data processing machine.
And that was too long for the US, and then they found out to call it computer.
And it all ran on these vacuum tubes.
Yeah, the first computer I made by a course and I had customer installations was with 1,000 1,000 tubes.
1,000 tubes. Wow. And where did you work in Berlin?
No, I'm just visiting Berlin and I live in Bremen.
In
Bremen.
Bremen.
But I have several more places in Germany where I have been.
Okay.
The last 10 years before I went in retirement, I was in computer development and research.
Okay.
So, and I ended with no profession. There was no profession
Sure.
when we started.
I was, some years ago, I was in Berlin. I used to play guitar with a German artist called Westernhagen.
I didn't get it.
Ich war Gitarrist
No,
by...
do it in English again.
I used to play guitar
Oh, I see.
with a German artist called Marius Muller
Oh, you
Westernhagen.
were a musician.
Yes.
I see.
And we did a video in a building in the former Oststyle in Berlin, and there was a room with a whole wall, probably from there over to there, of these valve sockets. Mm-hmm. And the building was a U shape. And I asked the hallmeister what this building was, and he said it was the centre of the GDR broadcasting. So,
Oh, I see.
Radio Leipzig.
I know what Adlershof.
Right. So Radio Leipzig was not in Leipzig. It was down in one of the rooms in this building, and this room was where the Stasi sat, and they listened to the radio and TV. And if they said something wrong, they cut off the station and went down and arrested the presenters.
Sure.
It was an extraordinary place.
One of my objectives for this exhibition here was where the TV equipment is shown. There's a German equipment from the Second World War. A TV-controlled bomb.
Yes, I saw it.
You saw it?
Where it was in the plane, and the bomb aimer.
Tonne. Its name was Tonne.
Yeah.
A camera in the front, just what the Russians today do in the Ukraine.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
finished. No, it was used.
Wow.
Not too often. It was, and the English started very successful to interrupt the
Yes.
radio signal. Then it was controlled by a wire,
Okay.
and that worked hardly for the Allied forces.
Yeah.
It's a story which is not very often told, but
For some reason, the GoPro has stopped working. Either the batteries are all flat. I thought they were fully charged, but I'm filming this model of the first computer, completed in 1938. Would do one edition. Would take 3 seconds. It had memory capacity of 0.17 kilobytes. And I'm filming it on a 64 gigabyte capacity mobile phone, which I hold in my hand. machine. So this is a fairly unusual view of a steam locomotive. We are underneath it. This is the famous Tante Ju, the Tante Ju, the three-engined Junkers workhorse, which was both airliner and troop transport. It did the lot. It's the so-called indestructible Tante Ju. Davide, we have your microphone set up for you. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's perfect. Looks like perfect. Thank you.
It's not that he's tall, but it's the Lemmy style, you know.